Yeah, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Shoot the Ish. I know half of the episodes, every time I come in, I always say, I know it's been a while, so I'm going to cut that, even though I just said it. But today, I wanted to talk about what everybody already seen, and it was like the baby giving the kids who were selling candy the $2 and a lesson. Now, like everybody's been on the internet talking about it. People said, what is your opinion about it and things like that. And I learned right now, I don't give opinions. If I'm gonna give opinion, it's gonna be on the podcast. So to answer those who ask me that question, I'm gonna just say this. This is kind of like how I felt, right? You can't control what a person does with their money, but you can have an opinion on it, especially when they broadcast it. So technically, there's people out here like, why you worrying about, well, he put the information out there and everything of that sort. Now, the way I felt was like, I looked at him and I'm like, I see what he's talking about, but at the end of the day, we're talking about kids. And obviously, he has money. So, I'm assuming he went abroad. He left out of the United States. And one of the things that I realized when you go out of the United States, people have a tendency to, when they sell their little trinkets, they sell things in other countries, they have a tendency to upcharge because they know you're U.S. tourists. Their minds are, you have money. So therefore, that's their hustle. So they're going to assume they're going to upcharge you because it's probably nothing to you. And if that's their only opportunity to possibly come up, they're going to try to come up. Now, I can't get mad that they're trying to come up because at the end of the day, I understand why they come at me that way. But at the same time, I'm not the baby. So to me, when he broke it down like, sometimes you could block your blessings by being greedy. Come on, bruh. To me, I thought that was the dumbest thing. They're not there. You're not their parents. At the end of the day, they're selling candy. So whether or not they blocked their blessings or anything like that, or they were being too greedy, no, they saw you. Let's be honest. They see you tricking your money off on strip clubs, seeing you throwing money away, seeing you just making it rain and all that. So they like, well, this dude don't give a fuck about the value of money. So I doubt he's going to try to give me a goddamn lesson in reference to blocking my blessings because I'm selling a product and I upsold you and then you just get $2 from me. Now again, it made no sense to me because again we're talking about people who show that the value of money means nothing to them. These are places that when they see a rapper or anything, even like in business, we're gonna upsell you, or most people say, or treat a rapper or blacks in general in reference to like, oh, you got it? Oh, they'll treat you like shit and you'll still buy the product from people. Remember, we went through this with Gucci, we went through this with Louis, whatever the hell. I just definitely know it was Gucci though. But and motherfuckers still buying it. So when it's all said and done, bruh, I get it. It was kind of corny. To me, I thought it was kind of corny. Like, and then to turn around, just buy 2 from you and 2 for you, walk away and laugh at it. But to me, I'm like, what lesson did you really teach him? You kind of taught him that, yo, he a grimy person. Because I doubt they would have done that to somebody else. They did that to you because at the end of the day, they weren't thinking about blocking their blessing. They looked at it as an opportunity. They see how you probably squander money and things of that sort. And so they say, look, while I have that opportunity, boom, you're saying that you probably would have gave him 1,000. We don't know. But the bottom line is you said, I used to sell candy myself. Yeah, but did you ever get the opportunity when you were selling candy to sell to somebody that you believe had it? At that time, they said, how much for the whole box? They looked at it like, well, shit, why tell them 60? Because one of the kids said, I get donations with it too. Because not only do every time they sell a candy, yeah, each one was $2, right? But then somebody might give them $5, say keep the change. May say this, keep the change. So true indeed, the box probably was $63, but they probably could have got $100 off of that box. At that moment, you putting them on the spot. And at the same time, remember, they are kids. So you doing that, that was kind of corny, to be honest with you. So to me, and then you said to teach them a lesson. I didn't know you were their parents. I didn't know you were their any guardian to them. And did you actually say that? Did you see? To me, I would have told them. I was like, look, you know, if anything, and again, this is your money, but when you put your information out there, this is, people have now the right to give an opinion. But the thing is like, let them know that you gave them $2. Come back to them and say, look, let me just tell you. Sometimes when a person is offering you something, make sure you have a good business plan. Teach them something instead of just walking away and making them feel like shit. Because basically, that's what you did. They're going to be thinking about that, thinking and constantly thinking, and just be like, yo, you a fuck nigga. That's basically what they're going to say. So when it's all said and done, a lot of times, you know, again, it's your money. And I know people that said, if it was me, I would have did the same thing. Yeah, because you're not making what they make. And at the same time, it's not for me to be grinding. Like, look, little man, I see what you're trying to do. Because again, if you went overseas and those little kids come to you, you be like, look, I know you're trying to get over. I know it's not that much, but you know I'm giving it to you just because I understand this is a third world country. You don't have that much. So you know what? I like your little hustle. Let me still give you something. I'll give you, I'll pay exactly for a painted shell. I'll pay $5. Even though we damn sure know a painted shell ain't no $5. And we know how $5 would go in another country. So we damn sure know. But again, we understand it. And that's where I stood with that concept in reference to how he did those kids. Because to me, like I said, it's just, rappers have a tendency to spend their money on strippers, have the money to throw their money away, just to throw it in somebody's face. You brat, you talk about how much money you got. You talk, it's in your songs. These are your fans and everything like that. And it's like, it's real kind of corny how you did it. And like I said, you even said you used to sell candy yourself. So when it's all said and done, that was actually, to me, it was actually fugazi, to be honest with you. So that's my opinion about that. But one of the topics I wanted to definitely talk about, or the main topic that I wanted to talk about tonight, was family. And understanding that sometimes you don't even recognize that you, like how family is structured. And I'm talking about extended aunts, cousins, grandmothers, and things like that, that you don't realize sometimes you may now be put in that place as the next person that carries on the traditions that actually happens in your family. And I just to be personal, one of the things I went to my family's cookout for the 4th of July, and I started to look at everybody, looking at cousins, extended family, and everything like that, and I was like, yo, I don't know half of these people. And then I was speaking to my cousin. She was like, yeah, eventually we're going to be the ones who have to start doing this. And I really didn't think about it like that. I was like, damn. That's kind of true, because when you think about it, I remember growing up, my mom it seemed like all the cousins would always be at my grandmother's house. And I would say, my mother always was a slick one. Hey, Clifford and Rocky, we going over your grandmother's house just to visit. I already knew the whole setup. My mom was going to take us to my grandmother's house and say, I'll be right back. And then she'll be gone for the whole weekend. But during that whole weekend, we're at the cousins, the uncles are there, all the cousins are there, all the aunts there, grandmother, grandfather there. And so these were things, and they had their little get-togethers all weekend, and this was just a traditional thing. Then as we got older, people either meet at my aunt's house, they play cards there, all the grandkids, all the kids would be there. But it was always something going on every weekend. And you take for granted, not realizing, like, you know what? Not wishing anything bad on anybody. Once relatives have passed on or get too old to carry or keep doing the same thing, who continues those traditions? Who actually continues it? Because eventually it's been going on so long that you take for granted, like, you know what? Who carries on that tradition? And it made me start thinking, I'm like, wow. Like, that's not something that the older cousins, I don't know if we've ever even talked about that as cousins, as family. Do we talk about, like, all right, so, we're now going to meet at this cousin's house on the weekends. We'll now meet at this cousin's house. We'll meet at, whose house will we meet? Do we even know where any of each other live? And when you think about it, that's how we knew each other. That's how most of the little ones get to know each other. And who carries on that tradition? And that makes you start to wonder, like, you know what? Like, damn, like, when you look at all families, who is the one that's carrying on that tradition or these things that will continue? Look, let's be honest. The only reason I know club music is because when I was growing up, my auntie would, like one thing about Jersey, we play that house music or that old school music, and that carried on. Even the music I listened to was based on things that I heard when I was a little kid. But that was what my aunts and them was always playing. So me having that old style or loving that old style music, that still carried on with me. So it's like, and then you see up to this day, the same little kids that are probably like around 4, 5, 10, they're listening to that old same music that my aunts and them was listening to, that we would listen to, that were kids, that's playing that Jersey house music. Now they put that along with, it's almost like if you go, you're going to hear from this decade of music to this, it's like from the 80s all the way up until the 221. So it's like, it was something for me to enlighten. It kind of enlightened me about, like, who does it? Do people do family reunions anymore? Like, it's just certain things that you really do take for granted because you don't you realize that, life ain't guaranteed. Somebody has to take on that next role. And who is it? These are the things that you say to yourself, like, damn, who is it? So, in saying all that, what I realize is just that the concept of family is literally the topic that I wanted just talk about. And I just wanted to know, like, are others in those situations, are other in that predicament, or, like I said, we could be going on with our lives and our own immediate families, but do we recognize the things that we're doing on our extended family? Are we looking at things that way? Sometimes you don't recognize things until you're just put right in that situation, and then you say, oh my God, I have this responsibility that I must take care of, or these things that, you do that. Are you doing things more or less for yourself, or you're doing things for the greater good? And, it was just something that, it was something that I thought about, and it was something that, my cousin brought up. And then I was like, how many of us are in those situations? How many of us actually ever sat and thought about things like that? And it was just something that I just wanted to bring up. And it's not like it was like a big drawn out conversation, but it was just something that I thought up, and I just wanted to share that with you guys and see, like, if any of you guys ever thought about that, or ever put yourself in that situation, and how your family makeup and extended family makeup is actually set up? Or are there any traditions that you guys carry on that realize that now you'll be the next one carrying on that new tradition? But, that was just something I just wanted just to bring up, just food for thought. But you already know. Anybody that know me, y'all know what I'm waiting for. DipSet, DipSet, DipSet. That DipSet versus the Lox. That I think I enjoy the verses. I basically liked all of them. But this one right here, we've talked about this before. Like, who was the best group? DipSet had their mixtapes. Lox or G-Unit had their mixtapes. But the fact that they got a versus with DipSet and the Lox, I'm just telling you, DipSet to me gonna win. In a way, I don't even think it's fair, because if you're saying DipSet versus the Lox, the only thing you could really say in reference to the Lox would be, you know what it was? It should have been, they should have said DipSet versus D-Block. Because when you think about DipSet, it's still not just Jim Jones, Killer, and Jewels. It's also Hell Rel, Nkasa. It's also J.R. Ryder, 40 Cal. Then you had Jim Jones Clique, which was Bird Gang, Stack Bundles, Max B, Mel Matrix. Yeah, that's all I can remember off of Bird Gang. And Jewels had, then you had Purple City. Because when you look at DipSet, that was a movement. DipSet was a movement. When you look at Lox, yeah, if you go bar for bar, yeah, Jadakiss hands down. But to me, when Cam really wanted to do his thing, Cam was up there. So, but song for song, the DipSet gotta watch Lox, cause you gonna hear when DipSet play their songs. I just don't think they got nothing to compete. I truly don't think, and I hope y'all don't hear that. I'm actually in my basement, so if y'all hear the AC running, sorry, I can't cancel that out. But I know one thing. I know the tickets. I know people. I know a couple of people going already. But I tell you this, I got the best seat in the house. I'll be down here in the basement. I'm putting it on the TV. I'm putting it on the speakers. I'm gonna be down here. I'll probably put on a super long Galaxy t-shirt. Sab, I ain't never do that even when they was out. I was a little bit too old for it, but I was DipSet out though. But I'm definitely gonna be down here in this basement with this all the way up, music all the way up, just enjoying it. You already know, hookah is my thing. Definitely ain't gonna have a drink. But that was the best thing they could have did. But see, to me, I can't see the Lox beating. The Lox ain't beating. I think if anybody keep it 100, they know the Lox ain't gonna beat DipSet. Cause even when you look at if they venture off, like Jewels did good for his solo albums. Jim Jones did good for his solo albums. Wait. Cause if you look at Styles V, I get high. Yeah, I'm singing on here, but I don't know. But I still think DipSet got more material. So it's kind of hard. I think it's gonna be hard as hell. But I could damn sure tell you, is that it's almost like I hope they just don't do 2020 and then they out. That shit needs to be extended. That needs to be extended. I know they did. I know they've been doing something like a versus. They did that just for like they was torn off of it. So at the end of the day, that's gonna be fire right there. That versus, that's gonna be fire right there. I'm antsy. I think it's Tuesday. I think August the 3rd. I mean August the 3rd or something. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna tune into that. But who y'all got? But I definitely know it's Cam. I mean, DipSet gonna definitely get that. DipSet gonna do what my little man right here doing. Piss all over G Unit. Yeah, I like this right here. I like that thing right there. He just right there pissing. I tell you, the little things, little trinkets I love getting. That shit be funny as hell. I like that. I like that trinket. But nah, guys. And again, I'm gonna always say it. No matter how many podcasts I do, yo, support, subscribe. I know I say that. I know I say subscribe. I know I say like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the content. But I know, and I said at the beginning, I won't say it, but oh well, I lie anyway. So, the thing is, I know I gotta be more consistent, but I just gotta get my days, sometimes, because there's so much material that be coming out, there's so much stuff to be talking about, but, that's my thing. And I know the consistency. I got to be on there. But then I get a lot of friends. Now, I've been on podcasts, but I don't know if they put them out with other people. And, I always tell them, I was like, yo, if I wasted my time talking to you, you better put that out there so I can share it on my content page, on my YouTube page. But, yeah, definitely, like I always say to everybody, follow your thing, follow their hobbies, follow the things that you like to do. I see a lot of people that I know. I like everybody page. If it's funny, I'm definitely liking it. But I always say, liking don't cost. Sharing don't cost. Promoting your boy don't cost. So when it's all said and done, just definitely, again, I always thank all those who continue to watch the page, even though I'm not consistent and putting out material. But I'm gonna get there. All I gotta do is 1 week, do it back to back in a week, then I'll be back on my grind again. But it'd be so much outside stuff I gotta deal with, to the point that I sometimes don't be getting back on here. And for those, again, like I said, for those who continue to watch the show, I definitely appreciate it. And it's about, and like I said, I will be getting guests on the show. I haven't really done it that much. But definitely, again, just from the topics I talked about tonight, just in reference to family, just think about that. And like I said, in reference to that, DipSet, Lox, y'all already know, DipSet all day, every day. But, I'm going to just cut this podcast short tonight. But, I just want to put something out. I haven't been out there that long. And like I said, even in reference to the baby situation, sometimes there's times to teach people lessons, but always understand the meaning. Or if you're going to teach a lesson, make sure that the person you're teaching that lesson to, they got the lesson. Because at the same time, we say sometimes our excuse in life is just that, oh, I did that just because I'm trying to teach them a lesson. How you teach somebody a lesson if they didn't know they was getting a lesson? You just saying, and remember, those people were kids. So at the end of the day, how you took it, you were looking at it as a grown-up. They were looking at it as a kid. So, again, I'm going to just call it a night. And again, thank you again for tuning into another episode of Shoot the Ish. And definitely like the page, subscribe, definitely share the content. And it's definitely appreciated. And again, peace out.